Today I'll be ranking the Five Nights at Freddy's games based on their difficulty, ranking them from easy to insanely difficult. Starting with FNAF 1. This game is definitely the simplest as there's only 5 animatronics and a couple of mechanics. However, the game starts off fairly manageable, but it starts to pick up when Foxy and Freddy get more active, with the hardest part of this game definitely being 420 mode. This can be beaten though if you know what you're doing. So I'm going to place it in medium tier. If I were to make a graph to show difficulty over time for FNAF 1, it would look something like this. Starting off slow, but Foxy and Freddy add skill to the game. FNAF 2. This game is much harder than FNAF 1. The concept is the same, but instead of having doors to protect you, you have the Freddy mask and flashlight, plus the puppets box to wind up. There's also 11 animatronics in this game, and the later nights can get overwhelming very quickly, as there's little room for error. The 1020 mode in this game is absolutely insane, and I personally have never completed it. So, this game is going in hard tier. If I were to make a graph to show difficulty over time for FNAF 2, it would look like this. It starts off easily, but each night adds more pressure as you're dealing with so many animatronics, eventually just becoming a game of reaction speed rather than animatronic tracking. FNAF 3. This game, in my opinion, is the best game in the entire series. There's only one animatronic that can kill you, but there's a bunch of phantom animatronics there to distract you. In the later nights, and if you have bad RNG, you can get mega comboed by the phantoms and killed by Springtrap really easily, which can make it feel unfair. There's 2 layers to the map this time, with the regular cameras and the ventilation cameras, so you must keep an eye on Springtrap at all times, while also managing all of the systems. This game can be a challenge, as it can get very overwhelming, but it isn't as hard as the others on this list, so I'm going to put it in hard tier. If I were to make a graph to show difficulty over time for FNAF 3, it would look like this. Similar to FNAF 2, it starts off fairly easily, but as the phantoms and system errors pile up, the pressure can get really high. FNAF 4. Definitely the scariest game in the entire franchise. This game heavily relies on audio and attention. There's no cameras to check, the doors don't stay shut, and you have to go up to the doors to check for the animatronics. If you accidentally flash your light at the wrong time, you die, so paying attention and being really quiet can help. Even going to the wrong door can kill you. I don't know, man, this game just scares me, and I haven't been able to finish it, so I will put it in insane tier, and I will not be changing my mind. If I were to make a graph to show difficulty over time for this game, it will look something like this. Straight away the game is fairly difficult just because of the different mechanics, and it doesn't really slow down.
Okay, so the first night is never usually that bad in any of the games, so I'll play through.
Sister Location. This is a highly overlooked game, and it has the most night variety of any of the games so far. However, the game isn't that difficult apart from nights 4 and 5. Night 4 requires a lot of concentration and timing to complete it, and Night 5 requires good power management and ender tracking. Overall, this game isn't too challenging though, so I will put it in medium tier. If I were to make a graph to show difficulty over time for this game, it would look something like this, slowly getting more difficult before peaking in nights 4 and 5. Pizzeria Simulator. This is a funny one. The tycoon part of this game is really fun and easy to play, but the nights can be quite difficult. Having your attention split between completing your tasks and keeping track of the animatronics can overwhelm you, with the ventilation mechanic being really cool, but really hard. Because of how demanding the nights are, I'm putting it in hard tier. The difficulty graph would look something like this. The nights feel different to the other games, which can make it difficult at first, and it just gets harder as you go on. Ultimate Custom Night. Yeah, you know where this one's going, straight to insane tier. This game is insane, like nearly impossible. There's over 50 animatronics in the game, and if you set all the AI levels to 20, yeah, good luck, bro. I've never played this game, but I've watched enough of it to know that it's not easy. The difficulty graph would look something like this, just straight away, insanely difficult, and it doesn't get easier.
Security breach, how hard could this be? Hold on, let me turn them all on. Bro, what even happened?
Help Wanted. This is such a cool and unique game since you can play it in VR. However, I don't think it's that hard, and it can be beaten with little effort. It mainly focuses on the atmosphere over the difficulty of gameplay, which is why I'm putting it in medium tier. The difficulty graph would look something like this, starting fairly easy and slowly increasing with time, but not getting too crazy where you can't really complete it. Security Breach. This is a huge game and it looks quite impressive, but it really isn't that hard. It can feel tricky at first since it's a new type of FNAF game, but once you get used to it, the game is quite easy. Most of the animatronics aren't too threatening and there's a fair amount of room for error. So I'm placing it in easy tier. The graph will look something like this. Starting off somewhat hard, but once you overcome the gameplay differences, it doesn't get much harder. And there we go, my difficulty tier list for the Five Nights at Freddy's games up until Security Breach. This is my personal tier list, so feel free to disagree with my rankings and let me know what you would change. If you enjoyed, let me know if you want me to rank the other Five Nights at Freddy's games and what other kind of tier list you want me to make. Thank you for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.